The European Union has their sets on Star Trek. They want to change the iconic introduction from the original 1960s show because it features gendered language. And William Shatner is not having any of it. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. This is up over at thatparkplace.com. The European Union has a toolkit on gender sensitive communication, which is part of their European Institute for Gender Equality. It was published by the European Institute for Gender Equality. And the sixth chapter suggests changing the iconic Star Trek line to boldly go where no man has gone before. Obviously, the phrase was popularized in the introduction to the original Star Trek series, with the narrator stating, "Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before." Well, as you can see here, screenshot from the document, a big red X right there next to the phrase "to boldly go where no man has gone before." They don't like that. Can't have that. So they suggest remove the gendered noun and use no one instead. So their fix is to boldly go where no one has gone before. And that is what they want to do. So Shatner responded to coverage of this from The Sun. And he said this on X: "Presentism at work yet again. Why start at Trek? Isn't it better to start at the beginning and redo foundation material such as the Magna Carta, religious writings, works of Shakespeare, before worrying about a silly TV show opening that reflects social commentary of the time? If people are offended by 6 seconds of dialogue recorded in 1966 without a monicum of understanding of the social issues at the time, there's bigger issues that they need to deal with first, like educating themselves." I think these people are fully educated, but I appreciate the sentiment that William Shatner had. And they are trying to fundamentally change our culture by lying. And they wanted, and that lie is erasing things that existed to fit the what he describes as presentism. So it wasn't just Star Trek. They also wanted to remove a line from To Kill a Mockingbird, which is, "Under the law, all men are equal." You can see that right here as well. There's another red X beside that one, and it says, "Use women and men or people." And so their suggestions are, "Under the law, all women and men are equal," or "Under the law, all people are equal." So they're trying to change To Kill a Mockingbird as well. And that's one of their suggestions. And we've seen this. I mean, companies are doing this. Walt Disney Company famously announced this during their Reimagine Tomorrow conference after they came out against the state of Florida for they wanted to basically have gender identity and sexual orientation taught in elementary schools to kindergartners and third graders. And so Vivian Ware, the diversity and inclusion manager at Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, admitted the company was removing gendered language in its greetings and audio recordings throughout its parks. This is what she said: "Last summer, we removed all of the gendered greetings in relationship to our live spiels. So we no longer say ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We provided training for all of our cast members in relationship to that. So now they know it's hello, everyone, or hello, friends." She then admitted, "We're in the process of changing over those recorded messages. And so many of you are probably familiar when we brought the fireworks back to the Magic Kingdom. We no longer say ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We say dreamers of all ages." So I love the fact that it's opened up the creativity, the opportunity for our cast members to look at that. We have our cast members working with merchandise, working with food and beverage, working with all our guest facing areas where perhaps we want to create the magical moment with our cast members, with our guests. And we don't want to just assume because someone might be, in our interpretation, maybe presenting as female, they may not want to be called princess. So let's think differently about how do we really engage with our guests in a meaningful and inclusive way that makes it magical and memorable for everyone. Lying to people does not make something magical and memorable, which is exactly what they are doing. And just they people are doing this. Walt Disney Company, one of the biggest companies on the planet, is doing this stuff. They're even introducing characters in their little Star Wars shows that use they pronouns. Utterly disgusting. There's also classic novels are being edited. We had this report from the Telegraph. Craig Simpson said that Agatha Christie's Poirot, I don't know how to say that, removed the term Oriental. He also noted other descriptions have been altered in some instances, with a black servant originally described as grinning, as he understands the need to stay silent about an incident described as neither black nor smiling, but simply as nodding. And then they also removed references to the Nubian people, an ethnic group that has lived in Egypt for millennia, from the book Death on the Nile. I think there have also been reports about Roald Dahl, as well as Ian Fleming's James Bond books have been edited. So they are indeed changing older texts. It's not just Star Trek. And I think they really are. They're trying to change the Bible as well. Just look at that Has Been Hotel animated show and how it inverts that. And this isn't new, right? They've been trying to do this for a long time. You can look at John Milton's Paradise Lost and things like that. Obviously, that is a text that once wanted to change the Bible, but it wasn't like they were going in and rewriting the Bible. But we see that too, right? I would not be surprised if we start seeing that. But again, I don't think it is. They're not. It's obviously not just Star Trek. It's not just To Kill a Mockingbird. This is a coordinated movement. They are trying to change all of this stuff. This stuff is not happening in a vacuum. They just, like you can see, this is coming from the European Union. We know that the United States government has adopted a lot of this stuff, and that's the New York Times is like 1619 project. We've seen local governments start instituting a lot of that stuff. So this is coming from governmental entities in a lot of Western countries. And they're not going to stop until people tell them to stop and say no to this. I do appreciate William Shatner coming out and speaking out about it, calling it the ridiculousness of it out. We need more people like him to do that, but we also need to fundamentally take action on that and make sure that this stuff does indeed stop happening and ensure that it does. And I think obviously one of the big ways to do that is change in government, because at the end of the day, that's where this is coming from. This, like we're talking about this right now, this is coming from the European Union, and they're the ones pushing this. So that is what's going to happen. So this stuff is all tied in to politics for a lot of times, and unfortunately, that is the sad reality. But that is what is happening. That is one of the main reasons why a lot of these movies and TV shows absolutely suck now. That's why they're changing things. It's all tied in to activists using the state and other governmental entities to enact the changes they want, which are wrong and evil. But those are my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you guys make of this. What do you make about what William Shatner had to say here? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.